Do you think the Crawford-Canelo fight is killed now with this performance, or you think it could still happen?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he should have looked a little bit more spectacular. But yeah, like I said, the weight, it's a big weight difference. Yeah, I don't see that fight happening either.
What'd you think? Did you give it a tough fight? Nice to meet you.
Crawford is fucking trash. Don't ever compare Crawford to Canelo again. Shout out young Triple G. He fucking did his. I felt he won. At least a draw. F the judges. F you weirdos. You guys suck. And f Crawford, you're not pound for pound. Suck. You never fought nobody good. You fought Spence that had a car accident. F you, bitch.
What's up, bro? Hey.
Very close fight.
Yeah? Did you have Israil winning?
But it was very interesting fight. Very smart fight.
Did you feel Israil did enough to win?
No, it's, how about compare my fight with Haney? Madrimov was a champion.
Yeah.
So it's enough for win the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should sit right there. Okay, sit right here. Let me get this. No, I'm gonna get you. Teddy, real quick, what'd you think of Madrimov?
No, listen, fought a good fight, a controlled fight, a smart fight, very contained fight, very disciplined fight. Gave himself a chance. And he landed right hands against the southpaw stance, which, you're supposed to throw right hands when you see a southpaw. But Crawford won the fight, but it was a fight that made Crawford, obviously extended to himself to where, he had to, he had a real fight on his hands. But Crawford showed how special he is.
So you agree? Do you think the decision was appropriate?
Man, for me, that was a hard fight to judge. Some of those early rounds lacked, a lot of back and forth action, but they were computing a lot of data. So in those early rounds, it was hard for me to tell. I did think Terence won the 12th round. And, tonight I was kind of watching as a fan. I thought it was a close fight, but, I thought Terence did enough to pull out the victory with him winning the last round, because I thought it was about even going into that.
I think he's in trouble when he fights Canelo, I'll tell you right now.
Not call out Canelo.
No. After that, I don't think so. Hey, Madrimov's a bad though. He's a bad dude. The whole night was great, though. Good to see you, Alex. Who won? I'm finding out
Crawford
right now.
just won by decision, unanimous. Do you agree with the decision?
Congratulations, Crawford. Yeah, no, he deserved it. It was just a tough fight, though. It was a real fight, close fight.
Yeah, I heard you a second ago. Not a smart idea for him against Canelo, huh?
I don't think so. I think it's just the weight discrepancy. I think Canelo might be a little too much. Not to take anything away from Crawford, I just think the size difference. And Canelo put that pressure and it'll be tough, but you never know.
What you think of the fight, Polo?
It was a good fight, man. Decent fight, man.
You think Terence deserved the decision, or was it closer than that?
For sure, I think he deserved it.
Polo, I gotta ask you, because it's a hot topic, Polo. Any message for Vlad?
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous in the third, maybe four, but once he started getting that rhythm on his body and that confidence more, even if he still got hit a little bit more, but he will start winning the rounds. He started landing more punches and his rhythm got better too. Man, he is just awesome fighter, man. He's smart, his movement so good, even his counter too. Yeah. He was landing some good right hand with his timing. But but he's a better boxer, and he was trying to bang also, and I think he was getting the best part in the banging part.
Before the thriller clash between Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov is going to take place in Los Angeles on 3rd August, but it is predicted that this can be the last match of Crawford's career in the boxing world.
I back my man. This guy is a super athlete, huge puncher, huge 154-pounder, and all the respect to the Crawford team, but my man ready to keep his championship in Los Angeles on August 3rd.
Even promoter Eddie Hearn believes that Terence Crawford won't get past his next opponent, WBA junior middleweight champion Israil Madrimov, on August 3rd. Hearn notes that Crawford's mind is focused on the Canelo Alvarez fight, and he's not dialed into his match against the hard-hitting Madrimov. Terence Crawford finally returns to the ring for the first time since his win over Errol Spence later this year, when he takes on WBA light middleweight champion Israil Madrimov. The pair will meet in Los Angeles on August 3rd, with Crawford attempting to become a world champion in a fourth weight division. I think the only thing that can make that fight is his excellency because of what Canelo wants for that fight, Hearn said about Crawford. Hearn thinks Crawford is thinking of the Canelo fight, and that will make him vulnerable against Madrimov. With the mega millions that Crawford will get fighting Canelo, it's impossible to keep his mind on Madrimov. But besides Crawford's incredible performance in his entire boxing journey and having the title of world's third best active boxer, pound for pound, by The Ring and BWAA, why is he leaving and saying goodbye to the boxing world? 36-year-old Crawford is worried about young Israil Madrimov, while Madrimov has equal potential against him. The power, youth, and mobility of the 29-year-old Madrimov will be a nightmare for Crawford, which could be a disaster for him. He could be sadly mistaken if he thinks Madrimov will be another depleted old guy like his last three opponents, Errol Spence, David Avanesian, and Sean Porter.
I believe the greatest fight card, top to bottom, the US has ever seen. And thank you to these two great fighters. As I said, it's an honor to be working with League One and Terence and his promotional company and all the promoters as part of this Riyadh season event.
Meanwhile, Madrimov's performance is undoubtedly outstanding. He has the power to punch a hole in a wall. According to Eddie, Terence is a pound-for-pound great and continues to strive to be the very best. But in Israel, he meets the hungry champion that has no intention of relinquishing his title. In his first defense, this promises to be one of the fights of the year. Madrimov, 29-year champion, is at the peak of his career, winning against Magomed Kurbanov in March, and looks like the equivalent of Hope Diamond of the 154 lb division. He's the crown jewel of the junior middleweight division, according to Crawford.
Israil, the best 154-pounder in the division right now. So why not go for the top guy in the division right off the bat?
Moreover, Crawford mentions, there are potentially 2 belts on the line. If Sebastian Fundora doesn't fight me after this, I am WBO and WBA champion. If he doesn't fight me, then there's only 3 belts on the line. He is quite confident about his potential and futuristic plan. He also mentions, there are only 1 or 2 more fights after that, so potentially only 2 or 3 fights that will be undisputed. Crawford and Madrimov both have destructive power that could give each other problems. It all boils down to whether the American carries his power to 154, and if Madrimov can take Crawford's shots. If he can, then Crawford will have to out-hustle Madrimov in a contest of attrition. Crawford's experience and confidence are giving him advantage, and he is 1 step ahead of Madrimov.
Just continuing being the best. You know, I want to leave a legacy that's never been left before. You know, inside and outside the ring. Business minded. Just helping the young fighters coming up, you know, giving them the courage and the outlet that the fighters before me never gave to us.
For Crawford to take this fight is a sign that his past wins have gone to his head, making him believe he's invincible. Crawford will face Madrimov in a tough fight. Bud Crawford will turn 37 in September and is coming off a year-long layoff, which included a loss in the first contest at 154. Crawford is confident and determined to face Madrimov in his upcoming fight. He has made a statement and said, "I cannot wait to get back into my ring in my 4th weight class and remind the world why I am the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Israil Madrimov is a tremendous and entertaining fight, but on August 3rd, he will be my next victim. This is the Terence Crawford era." Talking about the fans' reaction to the Crawford versus Madrimov clash, it's all mixed. Some fans view it as a tune-up for Crawford to prepare him for a fight against undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in the first quarter of 2025, according to Errol Spence Jr. Prediction: Crawford's experience and ability to adapt in the ring will give him the edge. His technical skills and track record against tough opponents are the key factors in securing a win. If the Madrimov clash is a tune-up in Crawford's mind, he's asking for trouble. Madrimov can punch holes through a fighter, especially an aging welterweight who has 1 foot out the door into retirement and is distracted by the Canelo mega money fight next year. While seeing Madrimov's potential, he has won the vacant WBA title, which opened up when Jermell Charlo fought Canelo Alvarez and was designated champion in recess by stopping Magomed Kurbanov in 5 rounds on March 8th. Uzbek is thrilled to face the best in the business. He said, "Terence Crawford is one of my favorite boxers and one of the best boxers in the world. I am very excited excited to get this opportunity to make a statement, and I will, inshallah. Some boxing celebrities might predict that if Crawford can effectively neutralize Madrimov's aggression and use his superior boxing skills and experience, he could secure a victory. However, others might argue that Madrimov's youth, power, and determination could lead to an upset if he manages to impose his style early and maintain pressure throughout the fight. Mentioning Madrimov, Tyson Fury predicts his youth, hunger, and power as potential game changers can favor him to win the match. Tyson argues that Madrimov's pressure and determination could overwhelm Crawford, especially if he starts strong and maintains the tempo. Lomachenko might predict a tough fight for both, but could lean towards Crawford based on his boxing IQ and ability to handle different styles. He might see Crawford's adaptability and counterpunching skills as crucial in nullifying Madrimov's aggressive approach.
Well, I always tell everybody I never go in the ring looking for the knockout, but if I smell blood and it's there, he out of there.
Eddie Hearns mentioned that Crawford is getting old. In an interview, he said, "The pound-for-pound #1, but I say Madrimov is the best 154-pounder in the world." Predicting about Crawford's performance, Eddie said, "I really believe that Crawford comes straight out of the gate. He wanted all the champions? Every fighter gets old? Every fighter gets one weight class too many? Can it be?" It is clear that Eddie Hearns is supporting Madrimov by appreciating him. He said, "Madrimov has tremendous footwork. He is exceptional. His defense is good. His punches are really hard, but we understand we are against the P4P #1. Moreover, Joshua said, "A close fight, but could give a slight edge to Crawford due to his versatility and ability to switch styles effectively." He has highlighted Crawford's ability to control the pace of the fight and his experience in championship bouts as decisive factors. Alvarez is surely leaning towards Madrimov, focusing on his youth, power, and aggressive style. He could see Madrimov's relentless pressure and hunger to make a statement as potential advantages, especially if he can impose his physicality early in the fight. As for Madrimov, he has an impressive amateur record, standing at 350-20. Madrimov's pro record is 10-0-1. He stopped his last opponent, Magomed Kurbanov, via a 5th-round stoppage. Madrimov will have seen every style during his time as an amateur. This will be vital since Crawford is a switch hitter with knockout power. During his time at 147, Crawford stopped all his opponents. This included the wins over Spence, Sean Porter, and Jeff Horn. He also neutralized Spence, who was in a much bigger fight than him. And yet, Hearn expected Crawford to come up short on August 3rd. According to Deontay Wilder, it's a close fight, but he also leans towards Madrimov, citing his aggressive style and knockout power as decisive factors. He might see Madrimov's ability to capitalize on openings and his relentless pressure as key to securing a victory. I think they're underestimating him. He's extremely tough, he hits very hard, and it's all like Canelo after this. Don't get me wrong, Crawford is the favorite in the fight, but Madrimov is a very tough fight. He's got great movement, he's a fit, strong guy in his prime, and as I said, he punches very hard, and that's not an easy fight," Hearn said. "My mindset is always to win at all costs. I'm coming in at 110% shape and prepared for whatever the opponent brings to the table. Make sure that I'm at the best of my abilities going into a fight so I don't have to worry about anybody else," Crawford stated. He further said, "A lot of people ask me what have you got to do to win a fight, and I always say, just be myself. I always say that because I feel that I'm Terence Crawford and can't nobody beat me unless I beat myself." Sean Porter say ID, "I expect him to start the fight orthodox. It will be a great experience. If Madrimov can withstand Crawford's counterpunching and maintain his aggression throughout the later rounds, he might expose any potential weaknesses in Crawford's endurance or ability to handle sustained pressure. Madrimov's hunger to prove himself against a top-level opponent like Crawford could drive him to perform at his peak. His determination and desire to make a statement in the boxing world could translate into a highly motivated and aggressive performance. I think they're underestimating him. He's extremely tough, he hits very hard, and it's all like Canelo after this," Hearn said. Madrimov's youth and power might pose challenges for Crawford, particularly if Madrimov can land significant shots early on. Crawford, known for his technical prowess and counterpunching, could find himself on the defensive against Madrimov's physical advantages. The bookmakers think that Crawford's pedigree at the lighter weights will transfer up to junior middleweight, but Eddie Hearn, who represents Madrimov and is one of many co-promoters of the event, says the underdog is being overlooked, particularly with the talk that Crawford could jump up a further 2 divisions after this to challenge Undisputed. "My mindset is always, win at all costs," Crawford said on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. "Make sure I'm coming in at 110% shape and prepared for whatever the opponent brings to the table. Make sure that I'm at the best of my abilities going into a fight, so I don't have to worry about anybody else." Terence Crawford has started his training camp for his fight against Israil Madrimov as he aims to conquer the 154 division. He is also very confident for the upcoming fight to win. Traditionally competing in the 140 and 145 147B categories, Bud, moving up a division, has elicited excited whispers across the boxing community, known for his skill set that combines speed, precision punching, and uncanny defensive brilliance. This move to the 154-lib class is seen as another opportunity for Crawford to demonstrate his versatility and prowess in the ring. On the subject of Crawford's transition, his trainer Brian McIntyre has voiced some concerns. He believes that Madoff is one of the best at the 154 division and is definitely a tough fight for Crawford. According to Brian McIntyre, it says a lot about his character that he wanted to be considered as one of the best in and out of the ring as a businessman and as a fighter. You must take challenges like this to prove to the world and to yourself that you are the best. BAC also said, Terence is coming for everybody at the 154 division. He also warns them to be ready for him as Crawford prepares to break into the super welterweight category. Madrimov is reportedly training with an increased emphasis on strength, speed, power, and flexibility. McIntyre also noted the importance of building stamina, as moving up a division necessitates suggesting longer rounds in sparring to help. Moreover, Crawford said, definitely it's a big challenge. Competing against one of the best 154-pounders for your first fight at the division is a massive challenge. We are preparing hard for this fight, especially focusing on stamina as it is necessary for the bigger divisions. I've given suggestions for longer sparring rounds, and we'll see what else we could do. No doubt Madrimov is a hard-working boxer. Madrimov is known for his aggressive fighting style and power. If he can maintain pressure and land significant punches, he might disrupt Crawford's rhythm and strategy.
This is a tremendous fight. This is going to be a war. This guy is so strong, he punches so hard. Terence is right, he's got great footwork, he's very elusive, he's very smart, and you're talking about the guy probably with the best IQ in the sport to the right. So this is a pure matchup, this is a technical matchup. There's going to be, skill, there's going to be pressure, there's going to be power.
Mentioning about this fight, Eddie called it a technical fight. Obviously, this is a do-or-die fight for Crawford. It's been speculated this might be a last fight for his career. Crawford's extensive experience and high ring intelligence could be pivotal. He has faced a variety of opponents and styles, allowing him to adapt and strategize effectively during fights.
We appreciate the challenge. It's a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight. I told the team and Terence that, man, we got to be laser focused for this guy. I've been watching him since the amateurs when he fought one of the stable mates. So, I know what he brings to the table, and I definitely know what his team, his trainers and them, Joel. They always train hard. They got great champions coming out that camp. But, we up for the challenge. Because one thing we on the mission. We trying to unify. We trying to be undisputed again.
This fight will depict the intelligence of each fighter. However, Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw stances can create hurdles for Madrimov. He has the ability to disrupt his rhythm and make it confusing to follow Crawford's moves. Israil doesn't have a long professional boxing career, as he has only fought 10 professional fights, but his amateur resume is quite extensive, with over 300 fights. Moreover, when he was asked how he sees himself going into a fight with a star like Terence Crawford, he replied, I am ready for this. I will have such a great experience in professional boxing, but I've had a really tough competition compared to previous fights, but I have extensive career international 200+ fight all around the world. Madoff also said that Crawford is one of his favorite fighters, and getting into the ring with him would be an honor. Crawford is a well-experienced fighter, an excellent counterpuncher. If Madrimov tries to pressure him, Crawford can capitalize on openings and land precise, powerful counters. Furthermore, Terence Crawford's superior conditioning and stamina enable him to maintain a high level of performance throughout the fight, which can be crucial in the later rounds if Madrimov begins to tire. At the age of 36, many achievements still lay in waiting for Crawford, who is clearly in no doubt that the sky's the limit. He will next try his luck at becoming a 4-weight world champion by moving up to 154 lbs to fight Israil Madrimov. It is unclear if his plan is to try and become undisputed in a third division, with potential clashes against Sebastian Fundora and Bakram Murtazaliev in store. What's your thought on this upcoming match?